Some days, the news don't just hit your ears, it hits your chest. Today is one of those days. When people hear the name Lil Jon, they think energy, culture, and an era that shook the world. But behind the stages and the screams was a father. And that father had a son named DJ Young Slade, a young man with talent in his blood, music in his bones, and a future that still had so much left to give. This isn't just a story about fame. This is a story about legacy, love, pressure, and loss. DJ Young Slade, born Nathan Smith, came into this world in the late 1990s during a time when hip-hop was evolving and his father was shaping a whole movement. Growing up, music wasn't just playing in the background, it was the air he breathed. Studios felt like home. Turntables felt normal. Beats weren't noise, they were language. But even with a famous last name, Nathan wasn't raised spoiled. He was raised disciplined, curious, and creative. His parents made sure he understood that respect mattered more than clout, and hard work mattered more than hype. A lot of people expected him to just ride his father's shadow. He refused. DJ Young Slade started learning the craft early, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. As a kid, he studied rhythm, sound engineering, and live mixing. While other kids were chasing trends, he was chasing perfection. He didn't want to be Lil Jon's son. He wanted to be Slade. That hunger pushed him to study music seriously, learning production, composition, and the business side of the industry. He understood early that talent alone doesn't last, knowledge does. Off camera, DJ Young Slade was known as a low-key dude. Not loud, not flashy, not chasing headlines. He moved with calm energy, stayed respectful, and kept his circle tight. His lifestyle wasn't about flexing. It was about building. Studio nights over parties. Learning over showing off. He loved creative spaces, deep conversations, and music that actually meant something. Friends described him as thoughtful, grounded, and emotionally intelligent, someone who felt deeply but didn't always show it. Family was everything to him. His bond with his father wasn't just public, it was personal. Behind the scenes, Lil Jon wasn't a superstar, he was just dad, a teacher, a supporter, someone who wanted his son safe, happy, and fulfilled more than famous. He also shared love with his mother, who remained a steady presence in his life, and younger siblings who looked up to him as both family and inspiration. This was a family built on connection, not cameras. At the time of his passing, DJ Young Slade was not married and did not have children. He kept his romantic life extremely private, choosing to protect the people he cared about from public pressure. What he did have was love from friends, family, and people who truly knew him beyond the industry. DJ Young Slade was still early in his career, but he was building real momentum. His income came from music production, DJ performances, creative projects, and behind-the-scenes work that doesn't always make headlines. While his exact net worth was never publicly confirmed, what mattered more was his trajectory. He was investing in skills, relationships, and long-term growth. He wasn't chasing quick money, he was chasing lasting impact. Now, this is the part nobody wants to talk about, but we have to. In the early days of this year, DJ Young Slade was reported missing, and concern spread fast among those who loved him. Hours turned into days. Hope battled fear. Silence grew heavier. Later, devastating news reached his family, and the public DJ Young Slade had passed away. At this time, authorities have not publicly confirmed a final cause of death, and the family has asked for privacy as they process the loss. There has been no confirmed evidence of foul play, and investigations are treated with care and respect. What matters most right now is not speculation, it's human loss. A son is gone. A future is gone. A family is grieving. Grief doesn't come with instructions. For Lil Jon, the pain wasn't something fame could block. No amount of success prepares a parent for losing a child. Friends close to the family described a silence that words couldn't fix, only time, love, and memory. The hip-hop community responded not with noise, but with respect. quiet tributes, messages of love, moments of reflection, because some losses don't need volume. They need space. DJ Young Slade may not have had decades in the spotlight, but he left something deeper, potential, inspiration, and truth. He showed that being born into fame doesn't mean you owe the world a performance. You owe yourself authenticity. His music, his discipline, and his character live on in the people he touched and the art he created. Legacy isn't measured in years. It's measured in impact. One thing people never really talk about is the weight of a famous last name. Being Lil Jon's son didn't just open doors, it added expectations. Everywhere DJ Young Slade went, people already had opinions before he even spoke. Some expected greatness instantly. Others waited for mistakes. That kind of pressure messes with your head if you don't have balance. And Slade felt it. Not in a bitter way, but in a quiet, internal way. He wanted respect, not handouts. He wanted his sound judged on its own merit, not compared to an era before him. That's a heavy load for a young soul. Behind the calm energy, Slade was a thinker, someone who felt deeply, someone who processed life internally instead of posting it online. Friends said he asked real questions about purpose, about identity, about whether success actually brings peace or just more noise. He wasn't chasing validation, he was searching for meaning. In an industry that rewards loudness, Slade chose depth. And sometimes, depth means you feel things harder than most. For DJ Young Slade, music wasn't just a career, it was therapy. Late nights in the studio weren't about fame. They were about escaping the chaos of the world. Beats gave him control when life felt unpredictable. Mixing tracks helped quiet thoughts he didn't always know how to say out loud. He believed sound could heal, that rhythm could ground you, that creating something beautiful was a way to survive the ugly parts of life. That's why his music felt honest, because it came from a real place. Slade kept his circle small and solid. No fake energy. No clout chasers, just people who knew him before the name mattered. Friends who checked on him when cameras were gone. Friends who laughed with him, argued with him, and protected his peace. They didn't see him as Lil Jon's son. They saw him as family. Those friendships mattered more to him than industry connections ever could. In the days leading up to his passing, there were signs that something wasn't right, not dramatic, not obvious, just subtle shifts that people often miss until it's too late. Moments of distance, quiet reflection, a sense of restlessness, nothing that screamed danger, just human vulnerability. And that's the part that hurts the most because it reminds us how fragile life really is. Even when someone seems strong on the outside, life moves fast. Too fast sometimes. One day you're planning the future. Next day, you're remembering someone who should still be here. DJ Young Slade didn't get the time he deserved, but he left a mark deeper than years can measure. So when you hear his name, don't whisper it in sadness. Say it with respect. Say it with love. Say it with gratitude. Because legends aren't always the loudest voices in the room. Sometimes they're the ones who changed lives quietly. Rest easy, Slade. Your rhythm still lives on. And to everyone watching this, hold your people close tonight. Tell them you love them, because life doesn't wait.